What up, maniacs? Shaquille Madjoui here, and you know who this man is. They say remember the name, but how could you forget? He's a triple threat in the cage, behind the Danilist chair, and the Twitter thumb. Mean Twitter game as well. Belal Muhammad, how are you? It'd be all right if we touch a little bit on the ongoing Israel-Palestine conflict?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, thank you. Just one thing, I don't even really like to call it a conflict, but you posted something that I thought was really important. I kind of was hoping you could touch on this. It just seems like we keep going through this song and dance where there's a pandemic and we see a rise of violence and rhetoric against Asian people. We see the Israeli government attacking and suppressing Palestinians and Muslims, and now we're seeing a rise of anti-Semitism. And I appreciate that you posted something to the effect of blame the government, not all Jewish people. When you look at the attacks on Muslims and Palestinians in Israel and the rise of anti-Semitism, like, what's the lesson there that you wish people would sort of clue into?
Yeah, that's the biggest, literally my Jared Gordon is literally one of my best friends, and he's a Jewish guy, and we literally lived together for 2 years. I do my podcast with Jason Anik. John Anik's a really good friend, so I don't want people to think that it's a religious thing. Like, when I tell people also all the time, it's like there is the population of Palestine is there's a huge Christian population, so it's not like they're just killing Muslims or this. There's Christians that are getting killed and getting kicked out of their homes as well. So I don't want people to think it's a religious thing. And also, Palestinians, we are Semitic, so we can't be anti-Semitic because it's about the language you're speaking. So it's like when people say that, they just look for those type of words, those little keywords, and they just throw it out there. Even with Hamas, where it's like you're showing a picture of kids dying, and I get so many comments of, what about Hamas? And I'm like, bro, you think this 3-year-old kid that just got bombed and killed is Hamas? People just look for keywords, just trigger words that will get other people, trolls and stuff, honestly trolls that are literally just want to just comment that on your thing just so they can get a rise up out of you or something like that. Mm-hmm. But like I said, I literally love Jewish people. Our religions are even close when you speak about our religion. So when people say that, oh, you're anti-Jewish or anti-this, I'm like, bro, my best friend literally is Jared Gordon. I'm gonna be standing up at his wedding. So I don't know what people say when they bring up that type of topic to me, because it's funny when that happens. And even him, he even responded on one of my posts with a heart or something like that. And he messaged me bro, I'm getting so many messages. What are you doing? Why would you do this? And I'm like, people are nuts. It's not. It's literally has nothing to do with religion. It has to do with humanity. People are literally dying, and people are losing their homes and things like that. So if you didn't put no name on anything, you didn't put no label on them. If you didn't know they were Palestinian, you didn't know they were this, you didn't know they were Muslim. What would you think if I said, yo, this group A right here has over 300 kids died, 1,000 people displaced from their homes, yada yada yada, and then group B, they have 10 deaths, and they have one of the biggest armies, and they have all these weapons and all this money. Which side are you going to take? You're gonna go to this side, obviously, because you're going to feel bad for these people.
They started it. You're all insane. They started it. What are you all saying? They started it.
But when you put that label on as Palestine, this and this, people just look for that. They always have that Hamas, terrorists. And I'm like, bro, it has nothing to do with that right now.
Yeah, I could go on about how little I like to talk to people about important issues over social media, which is why I'm happy that we can do this in person. Last thing on this, if I'm not mistaken, you were born in the U.S. to Palestinian parents, correct?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So as an American as well, an American-born citizen, what role would you like to see the U.S. government play in the ongoing treatment of Israel towards Palestine?
Honestly, they need somebody really to step up and put an end to it. So you can't have the president of the United States saying, well, they have a right to defend themselves from Hamas. And it's when you say stuff like that, then that puts it out there to just the regular Joe Schmo people that don't know what's really going on out there. Well, I feel that the biggest thing that's going on with people is they're misinformed. Even with when you're talking about COVID, and they're trying to throw the vaccine and everything at you, but they're not trying to inform people of how to be healthier, how to go out there and put exercise in. Like this whole ongoing conflict, a lot of people are misinformed with everything, and not a lot of people know what's really going on there. And like, you don't really have the mainstream media like pushing like the real story of what's happening, and you know, like literally the history of it. So like, I feel like even with me, I have a lot of friends that'll post about it, and like just because they support me, so they'll post about it, and then they'll get messages of people like, you don't know what's going on, you don't know what's going on. So then I'll have to inform them like, yo, this is the story. Put your 2 cents in, whatever you think, but like, this is really what it is. Yeah, this is all the information, and you can do with it what you want. You can take whoever side what you want with it, but give the real information. Don't sit there and tell me that these 90 kids that just got killed are part of a terrorist organization, because they're not.